Hi everyone and welcome back to CC Davis Studio. I'm Colette. I'm so glad that you're with me. Today we're working on part 2 of the box that we already started, so the fabric box. Last time we met I had just tacked everything down and done some running stitches along here, but since then I have done all of that and now I've started to add some work and some beautiful laces and trims that I have. So let's dissect each bit and then we'll finish it up today together, and I'll go through putting some of the lace on. So there's two parts to the box. There's this part and then there's a smaller part. So they just fit in each other. I've learnt a lot by doing it. I would do it probably a different way next time, which is probably measure, so that I don't have to make so many adjustments as I go. But I like things to be a bit imperfect, so you do you. If you think you need to measure, then you measure. I figured out another way to do them, so in the future I might do another box as well. But I've really enjoyed it. It's just been so much fun. So let's give you a close-up of each one. So this is the top. On the top, I've done a bit more thread painting than anywhere else because I really just want to be able to touch it and see it. So I've done a bit of thread painting on this one. And I've added some trims and laces because remember I was having a bit of a problem with the corners, which somebody had mentioned, thank you so much, I should have just overcast stitched them and that would have been a better idea, but there you go, it all works out in the end. So I've added some lovely old laces. Sometimes I only have little tiny bits of things, so I'm able to add them, like here. I've done a bit of blanket stitch on some parts that were a bit thinner as well, and you can see there where I've had to sew that in together where the corner was because it wasn't quite tight enough, but I'm okay with that. Each one I've done some little different treatments on them. So this is only a little bit of a lazy daisy for each of the petals, not the petals, the leaves. Over here I've just done different coloured running stitch, which is kind of nice. Had a tiny bit of this lace as well, that trim that I've added. Another bit over here. So it's all different types of material. Here you can see that I didn't cover that one up. I didn't want to. I just felt it looked nice. Just a little tiny little bit of thread painting in the red. That's my favourite red, the burgundy. It's not even burgundy, it's more of a cherry red, deep red, which I absolutely love. It's my favourite. Did a bit more blanket stitch over here and making sure that you go over where you can as well, so going over the sides of the material and then being able to come in and cover up if you want to or not. And I like to continue the lace across where I can. I've got lots of different pieces I pick up from different places, so let's turn it inside out. This is what I love about it. I can have it whichever way I want. So with this one, there was some of that over there and I continued with some of the thread painting over this side. Lots of lovely bits of lace, just a stripe, little bit that I had left over from something else. You can see here I've just added another little bit into here because I had it, so I thought I would just add it in. Another bit there. Didn't do any decorative stitching on some of these because there's so much lace and different trim on here as well. So some of them I did decorative stitching, some of them I didn't. Another tiny little bit that I had left over. And then blanket stitch on some parts as well. So you can have it whichever way you want. And it sits up quite nicely. And it just means that when I'm sitting here, I will often have and some people have asked about this as well, so I don't use many tools. This is I love making needle books, but I don't use them, so there's really no point. I always have extra magnets, and this is my needle keep, and this is all magnetized as well, so nothing falls off there as well. You can get them from different craft stores in your area, but you can also get them off places like Temu. I think I've seen them on there as well. And I went looking because somebody asked me about it, and these are just from normal pins. So yeah, that's how I like mine. And so I often, especially when I'm going around the house, I will put my basic things in there, which is my needle, my needle threader, which is the one with the light that I've shown you before, that, scissors, and then if I'm working on something, I'll just have some laces and, you know, different things in there, and I'll just go around the house with them. But if I'm going, you know, somewhere that doesn't have it, I'll always make sure it goes into this side. So I've made it big enough that it can go in the other side, and then lid on, and then put it into my bag. So, and you've seen me with this before, so I made it to match my travel trifold pouch thingy. So I made it to go with that, and it does mean that it's just easy, goes together quite nicely and fits in my bag, which is really kind of cute, huh? Well, I think it is. As me saying that, I think it is. All right, so I'll take all these things back out. And I'll show you the other side. So in this side, again, either way, I'm not sure. I've left this little bit here so that we can do some lace work together. I'm just putting it down and have a bit of a chat, which would be fantastic. And more of the same kind of treatments. Not as much thread painting on this one. Look at this beautiful piece of lace. Doesn't it look like stained glass windows? I've only got a tiny little bit of it. So, you know, I really wanted to, this is something special for myself, that I really want to use pieces that I absolutely love and little bits that I have left. I love this bit of material. I don't have any more of it. So I've used it a couple of times and I've used it all up on here. Just a little bit of thread painting into there, which is really just whipped back stitch, which is great. A bit more blanket stitch up here. And different laces. So we'll come back and do that one together in a sec. We can make a selection together. On this side, I love this material. Brown is not my colour, but there's something about that that I really, really like. Isn't it funny how things just appeal to you? This material I don't like at all. And I don't know why. I just really don't like it. But I've tried to push it back a little bit by adding things to it. This was really, really hard. So with your laces, some of them are really hard to stitch through, and that's agony to stitch through that one. But it is what it is. I've had to add some rickrack because that's my nan's favourite. Different colours of blanket stitch using different thread. That little piece as well, I just thought really good there because I had lots of plain, I don't know what I was thinking, but I had lots of plain ones on this side, so I'm not sure why. Love this bit of material. I don't have any more of that left. And here, I love these. I've got a few of these and I don't have many left, so I'm using them up on things that I love. Just a bit of stitching in there because I could. I think I had some left over from here, so I just went and used it up. And yeah, I went over here first and I thought, oh, I'll do some blanket over here, and then went over there. So if you try when you're doing this to repeat things, I think it gives some kind of cohesion, but you don't have to, do you? If you like to have things all to be different and mismatched, go for it. I like that patched together kind of look. I don't mind raw edges, but I don't, you know, I don't mind keeping them raw edges, I've said before, but I do love lace. So I add it to it. And this will be, haven't decided which side I want as the outside or the inside. I think that'll probably be the outside, and this will probably be the inside, but they look great both ways. So I'm not sure. I really don't like that fabric, so I may keep it this way, but I can see it more if it's inside. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one I want to do. All right, so what are we going to do today? So to finish it off, so you need to go away and do yours as well, and I'd love to see it. Like, lots of people are saying how much they're loving this, so I'd love to see it if you make one and show you variation on how you've done it. I'd love to see it, but it's so handy. I've been using it ever since I started making it, even though it wasn't finished, and it still isn't finished. I've just been using it. It's so useful. I could see myself making a few more of these. I just find having little bowls of things around just so helpful. And this is just great because it just means I can take this, which is I always take a mat. I've got 2 of them, so I always take the mat with me, and I might be, sitting in the lounge room while the boys are watching football or watching sport, basketball. We're a big sport family, or they are. I just cheer them on. And watching a movie or whatever, or just sitting with my husband. I often have my, he likes to watch different things that I don't want to watch. I'm not really a television person. If I'm going to watch something, I'll watch a movie. Like, I love, fantasy kind of films. I love fantasy books. I love reading those kinds of things. I love period films. So, Anna Green Gables, Pride and Prejudice, all those kinds of things. I love Bridgerton. Oh, do you love Bridgerton? It's the best show. The next season's coming. So I love all that kind of stuff. But often I'll just sit next to my husband and have my headphones in and listening to an audiobook while I'm sewing, or we'll be in separate rooms. So isn't that lovely? Our son's getting older, so he doesn't really need us as much, which is so sad. But, part of life, isn't it? He's out with his girlfriend quite a bit and, doing stuff like that, which is fabulous for him. But it does mean that my husband and I have more time together, which is fabulous for us also. So let's think about, I've already threaded up because, you all know how painful it is to watch me do that. I found when I went to the craft fair in Melbourne, I found these 2, I don't need more lace. I don't know what I'm doing. But I bought them because they were $8 each. And there's quite a lot in there, which I'll share with people. But they were having a sale of, I think, 30% off, 20 or 30% off. I can't remember. So I bought them. I had a lovely chat with them too. So that's probably what it was. I was standing there and thought, I'll buy something whilst I was having a chat. So this little piece here, as you can see, that's where I made the fold for the corner, which is lovely. And over here you can see there's a fold there. I'm not sure if you can see that. There's a fold just in there. And I put this on top. These are really lovely too. So what I'm thinking is maybe one of these. It's hard because I really don't want to cover up that flower because I like that colour so much, but maybe one of those, like that. What do you think? Maybe. Or it's just because I've got these and they're new that I want to use them. Or one of these across there, and that will take up less room. And then maybe we could do a bit of thread painting into there. But see, it's too clangy into there. I just think because I like this because it looks like a flower. Then it just gives it a bit more. Let's just see. Let's cut it and see what we think. We can do it together. We can make a decision together. It's very windy and cold here at the moment in Melbourne. Doesn't know what it wants to do. The weather is all over the shop. A bit like me. I'm a bit all over the shop at the moment. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm on school holidays and I'm feeling restless. I don't know why. I'm not sure if it's the weather or I don't know what it is, but I'm, really restless, feeling, do you ever get like that? Is it just menopause? I don't know. But I feel really, really restless. So what do you think? Would that work? And then we could do a bit of the red painting or even just the leaves in there would be nice. Because I really love this colour. So I try to avoid covering it up where I can. I like that. So that's a definite possibility. And if I don't use it, it's all right. Or we could do this one. So let's just cut it. Let me have a look at the other end. Is that nicer than this end? Nope, that's cut halfway. Let's see. What do we like better? And these things I just keep because I use them for something else because I like little bits. But if you don't have all of these kinds of things, just do decorative stitches or have it raw edge, whatever you love. So this is why it takes so long to do these for me, because I make all these different design choices. That just kind of looks silly plonked there. So that's a no. I'm leaning more towards this one. What do you think? Let's do it. So because we've got it's going to be showing, you just shimmy in between. So you're not going all the way through. You're not going through like that. You're just shimmying in between. So you take your needle and you come up underneath and then just come back through. So you'll have a little tail on the end. You can pull it through or you can break it, which is what I just did. Let me just do it again because I actually did that knot for something else. So 2 rounds, in we go through. Let's go again. Now, there we go. Oh, now I've done it so small, just decides to pull all the way through. Now I've been doing lots of sewing, so my hands are sore. Does that happen to you guys? Do you get sore hands? Watch me pull this too hard. Again, look at that. Colette, what are you doing? So yeah, I'm a bit restless at the moment. I don't know what's going on with me. Like, why does it happen to everybody else? Oh my gosh, that's like the 4th time. I should stop saying that I'm restless because it's like the universe goes, yes, yes dear, you are restless. Okay, so if I think you should go there, I didn't even have to worry about pulling it through so you couldn't see it because it's going to be covered up anyway. So if you like to be able to keep it as straight as possible, great. Just add a needle in there and then you can come back down. And then it's just a matter of sewing it on whichever way you think. So I don't go backwards and forwards a lot, but I do like things to be secure because this is going to be getting a lot of use. So if it was just something that was going to be purely decorative, then yeah, I would say don't go too much into, you know, going backwards and forwards, sewing every little bit down. But because this is going to be used all of the time, I want it to be really secure. I don't want it catching on anything because I'm going to have needles in there. I'm going to have threads. I'm going to have lots of that kind of stuff, you know, going in and out. I'm going to have scissors. I just don't want it catching on anything. So if you're not going to be using it lots, then it's just going to be purely decorative and sit on, you know, sit on your table or whatever. Great. Don't worry about sewing it as much as what I am going to do. But because, yeah, I'm going to be using it so much, I just want it to be really secure. And, you know, you start it off going around. I'm using a thread that's similar colour, but not exact match. I just use what I have. I chose the wrong weight of cotton. And of course I bought 3, didn't I? I could take it back, the girls would accept it, but and it breaks too easily for me because I am very, very heavy-handed. So all I'm doing here is, and I'm going to bring you in a little bit, is stitching it down. So yeah, I normally buy thread that is a little bit thicker because I pull really tight. So just be mindful of that if you're someone like me. I don't normally look at the weights, I just choose it and then I realise that I've picked up the wrong one. So what have you been up to? Are you going to give this a go? I'd love to know. Are you gonna do one, or are you just enjoying watching? I love watching other people make things and go, oh, I'd love to do that one day, and then go, yeah, I probably won't ever do that. But I'm just inspired, so inspired by the people at the moment. If you haven't had a look, I've just uploaded a fabric pouch that I have started, and I'm loving it. I was in the mood, so my hands are sore. I was in the mood for thread painting because I'm on holidays. I have more time, so I don't have to rush and want to get a project done. It's just enjoy it. I think, you know, what's great about, you know, following along with other people's prompts is it keeps you motivated to sew every day, which is a really lovely practice. Great for your mental health, great for your, you know, just good for your soul to be able to sit down and create. I think we don't slow down enough, do we? So I really love stitching, especially slow stitching. I don't use the machine at all anymore. Haven't for many years. I used to make costumes, I think I've told you before, a lot for ballet school and stuff. So I love hand sewing. I love making beaded things. I love just the slow stitching, the slow nature of creation and creating things. And watching other people do it, it's the most relaxing thing for me, especially when I'm feeling a little bit restless at the moment. It's, as I said, I don't know why I am, but we all have times like that, and menopause is not my friend. So I don't sleep, and, you know, you're hot all the time and just putting on so much weight. All of that stuff that we have to put up with as ladies, and I think we should talk about it more. I think it's helpful for everyone to understand what we go through as ladies. It's beautiful to be a woman, and very grateful for it. I wouldn't want to be a bloke, that's for sure. But we got to go through all these things, don't we? That's no fun. So when I'm feeling very restless like that, it's one of the things I love to do is just sit down and sew, and often I have other beautiful YouTubers on that I love watching and listening to and hearing about their day and what they've been up to. It's just lovely. So we're nearly the whole way around now. So what's it like where you are? Is the weather good? I think part of what I'm wanting is the sunlight, not the hot, because, you know, I'm such a pain in the neck. I don't like hot. My beautiful friends stitchy friends who live in Queensland, I'm just like, power to you. Happy to come visit you in the holidays when it's the winter holidays here in Melbourne, but I do not like the humidity. But I would like it to be lighter. And so daylight savings has started here. Do you have daylight savings in your country where the clocks get put forward and put back? It just means there's more daylight hours available. Now, if you have a look at that, it's all sewn down, it's quite secure, but see this? It's all flippy floppy. So I'm going to go back in there. So I just don't want it catching on anything, and that's pretty secure. So I'm just going to come back up. And so I haven't been going through at all. I've just been slipping in between, and because there's blanket in between here, in between the material and the next layer of material, so it's material, blanket, material, you just shimmy on through. So you just go through, so see there, I'm not through the back. And it looks harder than what it is. It's quite easy to do it because you can feel your hands at the back. You can feel whether or not it's going through. And it's a lovely effect of having two sides, so you can, depending on your mood, given me at the moment, it could be anything. I've got some lovely things to look forward to at the moment. I've got Kate in the nest. Beautiful Kate. Hi, Kate, you gorgeous woman. What a beautiful soul that lady is. Kate's doing some workshops here in Melbourne. Woohoo, aren't we lucky? Sorry, my overseas friends. We're very lucky. So beautiful Kate is coming to Melbourne and doing a whole lot of different workshops. And because I'm back at work next week, boo-hoo, I am going to go to her weekend class, which will just be fabulous. I've got that to look forward to. My beautiful niece is getting married, so her wedding is, Shanae, when's your wedding, darling? Next week? No, the week after next. So I'll be going up to Albury, which is sort of country New South Wales. They'll hate me for saying that. Country New South Wales. It's become more of a city now, but it's still country. Sorry, guys. So I'll be going up there. I'm helping doing some of the place settings and flowers and stuff like that. So I'll be going up a little bit early, so that'll be lovely to look forward to as well. I have bought something to wear and I don't like it, so that's good, isn't it? So I've got lots of things in my wardrobe that I can use. All right, so I'm just going to shimmy back in and end it off. Now, do we want to do anything more? Look at that. Isn't that cute? Oh, that looks really lovely. Do we want to do anything more in here? Should we put a bit of green in there? I feel like we need some green, but maybe not too dark. Let's have a look. I've been using green for my other project. And I'm thinking maybe, even though that's not right. Do we just go for it though? Like, it just seems to be the wrong colour value. Because I'm doing my other pouch. That might be better. Nope. Nope, nope. And that one's the closest. I reckon that one. Or is that just me being lazy and not wanting to get up and have a look? Too dark. Yeah, so because, I've already got some. Nope. Yeah, because I've been doing, what was I saying? I have no idea now. Oh my gosh, does that happen to you or is it just me? I start thinking about something and I go off on this tangent and then I never come back. No, it's gone. That's better. Isn't that weird? Could you see any of that? Or was I just like talking to myself and fiddling around over here? What would you choose? I think it's going to be this one. And I don't need very much. Oh, do you hate it when you choose the wrong side? Dear me. I should have done this already. Okay, I don't need very much because I'm not really using this in anything else at the moment. All it is, it's sitting in there, hopefully going to be used for my other project. Yeah, so if you haven't had a look at the other project, all it is a pouch. And I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone. I'm using pink. It's this pink doily that I found. But in saying that, I was looking at it last night and thought, oh, I've actually moved it all into the redder colours because I can. Because I'm attracted to that. Isn't that funny? You think, oh, I'm going to stretch myself. I'm going to try a different colour. And something because I found that beautiful pink. I thought, oh, that's gorgeous. And now what have I done? I've moved myself all the way back into the colour that I like. Do you do that? You think you're going to be clever and choose something differently and then you don't. Now, what I didn't say about with the needles, because you're going through different layers, I like to use a sharper needle. So this would be, yeah, no, there's no use me telling you what it is, but because I never know. Look how dry my hands are from how much sewing I've been doing. Sorry about that. I should have put moisturiser on before I started. So yeah, it's got to be a really sharp point because you're trying to be quite precise with getting through the layers. Let's see if, I know, it's agonising watching me do this, isn't it? Let's see if I can do it without, because it's pretty big. Without having to use the threader. I did. Oh, I didn't. I did. No, you didn't. You did one, you goose. Oh my gosh. What was I watching yesterday where someone was using a word that we use in Australia, but I think it means something totally different in different context. So we'll, like, you know, I'll say you goose or you whatever without using a swear word. I had it then, but I'm too busy laughing to myself. Look at that. Yeah, so we'll say goose or you knob. Now, sorry to my other people out there, but knob, like, you know, knob on a drawer. So you can't see that, so that's not helpful. You can't see that either. So like a drawer knob, we'll say knob. And if you say, oh, good on you, you knob, it's like you goose or you silly or you know. And someone said to me, no, that's not okay. You don't say that. Because they were from America. So it was an American friend. And I've just gone, do you have words like that that you use that you know other countries are like, you can't say that? It made me laugh out loud. So I said, good on you, you knob. And they just went, what? It's like, okay, maybe it's just an Australian thing or an English thing as well, because I know England, they say it too. Yeah, being a knob. Wow. Do you have things? Put them in the comments, but don't, you know, keep it clean. Do you have funny things that you say to people, or, you know, because I don't like words like idiot and stupid and things like that. I just think they're so derogatory. So often I'll say, gosh, don't be a goose to my son when he was younger. Not now, because, you know, hey, they know everything when they're 15. It's normal age and stage stuff, isn't it? So just backstitch. Come over to here. So I'm just going through the layers again. Nothing too amazing, just a bit of backstitch. And it just gives it a little bit of embroidery. I really hope you didn't hear that. That's my son playing. It's the weekend, so he's playing online with a friend, and he did use the Lord's name in vain there. So I'm sorry if you heard that. He is going to have a bit of a chat with me about that later. I say worse, let's be honest, but not that like that though. So I do apologise if you heard that. He does know that I'm filming. So yeah, just going in and out. So do you have some funny sayings that don't translate to other countries? Or that you think you say but you think other people say as well in other countries? It's funny, isn't it, when you've got friends who just look at you blankly and go, what? There we go. So we're nearly done. I'm going to be sad to finish this because I've really enjoyed it. And you can embellish as much as you like. I wouldn't personally, because I'm using it so much. You know, I love a bead and I love a button. Because things are going to be going in and out of it constantly, I wouldn't use beads or buttons on this one. But it's very hard not to, because I do love it so much. Should I go over here? I don't even know what that is. Love that colour brown. That's really nice greeny brown, isn't it? So I think that must be enough. Let's go through. So you can see I've not gone through it all. It's just a little bit of a something. I could have whipped that, but there's no need. And if you're worried about any of the string, the thread coming through. It doesn't go anywhere. It's just a tiny little bit of leaves to bring it all out a little bit more. So that's the final product. I really hope that you have a go, and if you do, tag me. I'd love to see it, or message me and send it to me. I'd love to see what you make. So that's the box all finished. I'll take some photos and put it into the thumbnail, which you would have already seen by now, and it's done. And look, it's not perfect, but neither am I. So do what you love, I say, and enjoy it. Enjoy the process of it. Isn't it lovely to have a thing that you've made that you love? And I hope we, be kind to yourself and say good things about the stuff that you do, the things that you create. It's the process, but it's also the thing. Like, that's a lovely thing, and I'm proud of it. And I hope you're proud of the work that you're doing as well. And I did see, like, Kate in the Nest was mentioned in comments about, somebody told her you should be signing your work. I never do. It would feel weird to do that, but there's something to that. And I think it's about having pride in the things that we make and the things that we do. So there you go. You got a bit of philosophy with your sewing, whether you wanted it or not. But, I'm just so grateful for all the kind comments and, the lovely people who watch the videos. Majority of you don't subscribe, but you watch them, and that means the world to me. If it brings you some joy and some happiness and a bit of a laugh, because I'm a bit of a goose, then that makes me happy. Thanks so much for being with me. Have a lovely week and take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.